Good morning everyone, we hope you're doing really well. I've got Sarah and Bethany with me this morning and we are going to tell you a story in the Bible in a minute. But just before I do that, I just wanted to say, we've been looking at life hacks at church over the last few weeks, and I don't know if what I'm about to share is a life hack, but what I do believe is that it's really simple. But if we do it, it's got the potential to make a massive difference to our lives. Anyway, on to the story. So I'm going to tell you a story that some of you might know really well. You might have read the story in the Bible many times. You might have heard sermons on this story. You might have even done sermons yourself on this story. But some of you might not know this story at all, and that's absolutely fine. But in the story, which is way back at the start of the Bible, in the book of Genesis, in the story there are two ladies. And the first lady is called Sarah. Who wants to be Sarah?
Me.
Sarah being Sarah would make sense. I can probably remember that. Remember that better than Bethany being Sarah and Sarah not being Sarah. So Sarah, you're going to be Sarah. Mm-hmm. And Bethany, you're going to be a lady called, not Bethany, you're going to be a lady called Hagar. So your name is?
Sarah.
And your name is?
Hagar.
Hagar. Now, Sarah and Hagar aren't sisters. They're not really friends either. What the deal is this. Sarah is the boss. Her husband, Abraham, is really quite rich and well off. And Sarah's the boss. And Hagar is Sarah's slave, or Sarah's servant. And Hagar has to do whatever Sarah wants her to do. So when Sarah says, go and do the dishes,
go and do the dishes,
Hagar has to do it. In fact, Hagar probably doesn't even have to be told to go and do the dishes. She just knows to go and do them. And when Sarah says, go and do the ironing,
go and do the ironing,
Hagar goes and does it. Anyway, Sarah really wants something. Even though her husband is well off, and even though Sarah's got a slave, there's something that Sarah really wants that she doesn't have. And that's a baby. Sarah really wants a baby. She longs to have a baby, but she doesn't have one. Hagar, on the other hand, even though Hagar's the slave, even though Hagar's the servant, guess what Hagar's got in her tummy? Let's see. There we go. Hagar has a baby in her tummy. So the slave has what the boss wants. And this isn't great for their relationship. It responded to Hagar having a baby in her tummy by mistreating her. Hitting her? Harder than that, I think. Well, I don't know if she hit her, but she mistreated her. It says she mistreated her so badly, so badly, that Hagar ran away. She ran away. She ran away from her boss. She ran away from the house. She fled into the desert. She presumably fled without water, or certainly not much water, not much food, maybe absolutely nowhere to go. But the treatment had been so bad that she ran away. And we don't know exactly what was going through Hagar's mind at that time, but I would imagine that Hagar felt incredibly alone, incredibly mistreated. She probably felt as if there had been lots of injustice, but not just mistreated and injustice, mistreatment that nobody had seen. Nobody had seen it. She was the slave. Injustice that nobody had seen. So she's alone with no one to see her, no one seeing what she's going through. She's fleeing into the desert with no one to really see her or watch her do that. And she's feeling unseen. She's just feeling unseen. No one is seeing what she's going through. No one is seeing the toil and the trouble and the wrestle that she's going through whilst pregnant. She's pregnant at the moment. And it says in Genesis chapter 16 that the angel of the Lord came and met Hagar in the desert after she'd fled from Sarah. And at that moment, from that moment on, Hagar gives God a new name that she's given him herself from her own experience. And it's in Genesis verse 16, and I'm going to read from verse 13. Okay, it says, that's Hagar, she gave this name to the Lord. Bethany, could you read it?
You are the God who sees me.
You are the God who sees me. Hagar says to God, here's your new name. You are the God who sees me. When nobody else sees me, you see me. When I'm being mistreated, you see me. When there's injustice, you see me. When I'm alone, you see me. When I'm in the desert, pregnant, you see me. You are the God who sees me. And one of the things I love about that name is it's about you see me. Hagar makes it personal, really personal. Hagar doesn't say, you are the God who is able to see people, or you are the God who sees everyone. She says, you are the God who sees me. Right now, today, you see me. You see me, God. And she makes it personal. And there's lots of examples of these throughout the Bible. Moses, in the book of Exodus, after he's led the Israelites out of Egypt across the Red Sea, sings, "The Lord is my strength." He doesn't just say the Lord is strong or the Lord is able to strengthen people. He says the Lord is my strength. That's my personal testimony, that he's my strength. That's who God is to me. He's my strength. So Moses says in Psalm 23, one of the most famous chapters in the Bible, David says, the Lord is my shepherd. He's my shepherd. That's who God is to me. He is my shepherd. And that's what I'd like to encourage us all to do. Boys and girls, mums and dads, youth, grands and granddads, grown-ups, all of us, that we would praise and worship and thank and pray to God, using names, using terms that are relevant to where we are today. If we need comforted, that we would be able to say, the Lord is my comfort. He's my comfort. The Lord is the God who is able to comfort me. When we need encouraged, the Lord is my encouragement. He is the one that lifts my chin and encourages me when I'm feeling discouraged. When I'm alone, we would be able to say, the Lord is my comfort. He's my company. He's the one that means that I never have to do things completely alone. That we would be able to say, the Lord is the God who helps me with my maths. God is the Lord who helps me with my spelling. That he is the one who is able to help me be patient with my brothers and sisters. That we would be saying, God, you are the Lord who sees me crying when nobody else sees me crying. That you're the one who hears what I'm saying when no one else seems to be listening to me. The Lord is God. God is God. He is Lord over all. But he also wants to be our God. He wants to be my God. He wants to be your God. And I think it's an incredible simple thing to be able to do. But if we can genuinely, instead of just calling God a rock, a fortress, a shepherd, if we can call him my rock, my fortress, my shepherd, my helper, my comfort, my inspiration, my encourager, it's an incredibly powerful thing to be able to do. And I encourage us all to do it this week. God bless.